What's up guys, it's Phil, and it's time for another update. You hear that? The birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing, the sun is shining. It's spring, baby. So I am starting this update with a little bit better attitude than I had last time. I had a lot of things going wrong. I still do have a lot of things going wrong, but that tends to be the story of anybody's life who owns and runs a small business. Luckily, a lot of the stressing things are taken care of. Now it's just a time limit thing, and I can usually manage that pretty well. So I am currently working on a large play set. It's going to be, actually it's a playhouse, a little girl playhouse for these three triplet girls here locally in the area, which is super awesome. I just picked up a chandelier that I'm going to paint white and mount inside of it. So I will be getting that finished up and finishing up their custom built-ins inside. So I will finally get paid on those projects, which will be nice because I haven't made any money in the past couple weeks, and that's not good. So today I went to make two different deliveries and something went horribly wrong at both of them. The first one, I went and I started installing these shelves, and I did this custom sign that my wife had made to go over their thermostat box and prevent the house from heating and cooling when it's not supposed to, and a little doggy door. That was all supposed to be great, but one of the main things they wanted was this sliding door console to be their new TV console, and I misread my own measurements when I was building it, and I ended up building it 1.5 inches too big, which is stupid because it does not fit if it's, you know, 1.5 inches too big. So I get to rebuild that from scratch. Silver lining though, I have a show coming up in downtown Franklin in the next couple of weeks, and I was not going to have a console or a built-in for that, so now I unfortunately do, because I have nothing to do with this piece other than try to sell it. So I'll be taking that to the show, which will be nice. It's a really beautiful piece, which people are going to love. Someone's probably going to buy it there, so I'm not too worried about that. But then after that, I went to take that little oak top bench that I'd forgotten about with my previous client, and took that to them, and they had had a chance to kind of live with the table, and they weren't really satisfied with the finish on it. So the easier solution was for me to just pop the top off the table, bring it back here, and just refinish it here, because then I'm not having to drive back and forth, and I'm not having to worry about them watching me the whole time. I can literally strip it down, fill any holes, make it look the way that they really want it, stain it perfectly this time, and do the polyurethane, make sure it's perfect so it matches the bench, and then take it back to them. That should all work out pretty well. The stressful parts of all of these projects that were really messing with my head last month are gone. Now it's just a lot of playing catch up, which I can usually do pretty well, especially with a couple cups of coffee. So with that, I'm going to get to work on these tables. I am going to go ahead and get ready for tomorrow, where we'll be working on finishing up that play set, and then in the next couple days I'll get these things delivered and we'll get on to the next built-in and just go from there. Do I look tired? Because I am tired. I just delivered a dining table, which is awesome because that also means I got paid. So I got a little bit of cash in my pocket, actually in my Venmo, and that means I'm a little less in debt than I was 3 hours ago. So I made that delivery. That table looks super awesome. It is a whitewashed dining table, very simple, 8-foot farmhouse, harvest style dining table. These are super popular, and this is the second one I've done this style in the past couple of months. Today, I got pretty far on my replacement console. We started about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's now midnight, but you know, I've been doing a lot. I made the doors, so they've got some, you know, plaster and stuff on them. There's a bunch of big, giant, stupid bugs that have gotten in here. So they are trying to fly around and annoy the crap out of me. And this thing is going pretty well. So now it is late, I am tired. I'm going to go ahead and load up my newly empty trailer with all of the tools and everything that I need for tomorrow, because I have a 7:30 start time for a brand new series of built-ins and barn doors at one client's house. I'm super stoked on that. I'm excited to get started back on those type of projects. But with that, little quick tip from me to you, go ahead and get all this crap done tonight. Would it be nice to go in, shower, and go to bed, especially because I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing at the beginning of the week when I did my first part of this update? Yes, but it would be better, while everything is fresh on my mind, to go ahead and load up the trailer, get all the tools in, get everything I need, and make sure I didn't miss anything, so that tomorrow I can brainlessly just get in the truck, get some breakfast at the gas station, and go to the client's house, as opposed to having to think all morning and wonder if I forgot anything, and I usually end up doing that. So I'm going to get packed up. It's probably going to take me another 30 minutes or so, and then I'm going to go inside and go to bed because I have an early morning. I'm getting ready to go start yet another 2 before the month is over. So, that one was a really nice project. I had a dual sliding barn door that was reverse mounted. We purposely made it so it didn't fit in the casing so that you always have a little bit of that view and you can see those beautiful modern handles that the client got. They also got a small office built in, which they modified the plans on me and added some extra doors and cabinets up on top, which is great. It turned out looking awesome. We also added a file cabinet in the bottom, which is really, really cool. I really like that design. And we did a mudroom. What was really cool about this project was just being encouraging to the homeowner. She wanted to do some darker colors, and she came up with 3 or 4 different really dark grays that she liked. I encouraged her to go with the much, much darker gray. She ended up going one slightly lighter tone than what I had chosen, but it looked amazing from a design standpoint. So I think it turned out absolutely awesome. It was one of my favorite ones as far as the coloring, and those barn doors are super, super awesome. Now, those barn doors were super awesome, and one of the things that I really liked about it is lately I decided that I wasn't going to do barn doors anymore. I was getting frustrated because a lot of people around these areas are taking plywood, slapping some wood on the front of it, and calling it a barn door and selling them for $200. I usually can't even get my supplies for $200 for a barn door, especially when people want these 8-foot tall, 4-foot wide doors that are just massive. And I'm not going to just slap some, cladding on a piece of plywood and call it a barn door. I prefer doing solid wood doors that are actually mortise and tenon together. They're very heavy, they're very real, and they're super awesome, but people don't want to pay for that. So what I've been doing lately is 2 things. I either charge people not a whole lot, still kind of expensive compared to the Facebook marketplace, but for actual quality craftsmanship and someone who knows what they're doing, it's been pretty good. So I've got some cheaper doors that a lot of people want to get, like a single bathroom door. They don't want to pay a whole lot of money for it, and they don't want to have to worry about the humidity changes. So in that case, a nice hardwood plywood core and then a good sealant on it is going to prevent it from warping, versus a piece of cheap pine plywood that's going to just warp as soon as they take a shower. So I do use better materials. I do try to charge a little more for that, but on these really big doors, especially the dual barn doors that they have to match, everything's got to be perfect, and they need a perfect line when they close, plus the track is more expensive, I started just charging astronomical prices. And it worked. I started getting a lot of no's, which is fine because I didn't want to do barn doors anymore. And then out of the blue, I got 3 orders for barn doors where when I told people the price, they were like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Awesome. So now I can actually go and build doors like the ones you just saw, and I don't have to worry if something goes wrong, if I make a mistake and have to go back and fix it, or if installation takes a very long time or is very tricky, because now I've actually made a good amount of money on it. So the longer it takes me to install, or the more time I take being meticulous in the design and in the construction, I'm already being paid for that. Those were definitely some of my favorite barn doors because they were so beautiful. The client had such an amazing idea, and she picked some really great ultra-modern slim brass hardware for it. She also had a matching mudroom that was the same dark gray color, and it was awesome looking, had some nice modern fixtures, which was great. And I did their kind of built-in office space. It's kind of an office now, and then it's going to be a nursery, and then it's going to be converted back into an office. So for now, as like an office playroom, it's just like a laptop desk with a bunch of storage around it. Later, it's going to be just an area for like the kids' stuff, and then later on, it's actually going to be like a side laptop desk with a printer and everything, and they're going to have a presidential desk in the middle, which I'm hoping they're going to ask me to build. So I'm finishing out this month with 2 more built-ins, like I said. One I just started last week and actually got all the way to the doors. I'm doing my doors here because it's about an hour and 10 minutes drive to the client's house. So I'll be doing those. My painter's coming out on Thursday to paint that job, and I'll be installing the doors hopefully Friday or Monday. Get that job done and get paid. The other one that I'm doing, I'm starting on Wednesday, and it's one that kind of bumped up into my schedule, which is part of the reason why I'm behind, is because I thought I had space and I didn't. But the sooner we can knock this thing out, the sooner we can get going on the other built-ins and get all caught up this month. I was ahead of schedule for about a day. It was kind of nice. I went to the built-in I'm currently at. I did it so fast. I did it by myself. I was actually surprised at how quick it went. And then I wanted to bump the next built-in up a little bit, but I knew I had to go back to the other client's house and do some finish and some touch-up work, and she had a couple of issues she wanted me to fix. So I started with her issues, and then went on to my issues, and then did more of her issues, and then figured out I had even more issues, and by the time I was done, my 2 days ahead of schedule is now exactly on schedule, and if I'm any slower, I'm gonna be behind again. So it is what it is, but that's why I'm glad I didn't try to bump myself up at all, because sometimes when I get ahead, there's always something else that drags me down, and I'd rather have the room in my schedule to do that than have really annoyed clients because I can't get to people when I told them I would be, and constantly pushing them back. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on these doors, and then eventually I might get on this expansion here. We'll see. And with that, April is over. I am done with April, and I'm done with those built-ins, which is awesome because that means I'm moving on to the next set of built-ins. So May is looking pretty promising. I have got a solid book just about every single week. I've got a new project starting. I've got multiple projects on top of another, and I've got 2 part-time guys now, and I've hired out my painting. So let's see how all this goes, because having more people also means it's costing me more money. So I'm interested to see how that all works out. This month was not without injury. I've got this little bit there. It hurts a lot. I had a drill slip and basically smashed my finger up against a really, really sharp edge that took off a whole big giant chunk of skin. Bled everywhere, it was really nasty, but hey, if that's the worst injury I have to complain about, I'm not doing too shabby. So once again, guys, I just want to say thanks for watching. I apologize it took me so long to get this one up, but it has been a crazy month, and I'm looking forward to another crazy month coming up, but I do have a DIY already in the works, and I've got a couple more that I'm going to start filming here, so hopefully you'll see more of that content and less of just these updates. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and checking out my channel, checking out what I'm doing. This is what it's like to be a professional woodworker. This is what it's like to work for yourself. So, you know, if you guys want to see some stuff, let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll be happy to give you a behind the scenes look at it in one of my future updates. Also, let me know if there's any particular projects that you'd like me to do. I'll be more than happy to do those and do it as a DIY so that you can do it yourself at home. Make sure to subscribe, ding that bell, and turn on those notifications. Also, if you want to help support this channel, just click on the Amazon links and buy stuff there. For right now, that's what I've got set up. That really helps. I've made a little bit of money off of that to help get new equipment and stuff like that. So whatever it is that you guys want to do to help, the best thing is to go to Amazon through some of my links, preferably to buy what I've already been talking about. But as long as you go through one of the links and shop around a little bit, it helps me out. So thanks guys for doing that, and go ahead and do that if you haven't yet. So I'm going to wrap it up. I've got a consultation to go do, and then I just want to hang out with my family because it's Saturday and I don't want to do anything else. So we'll talk to you guys next time. See ya!